Of course, what I should have said is what women spend their own money on is their own business. Am I right, Mary?
Absolutely.
And speaking of which, you have come in laden down with beauty products. But actually, just before we get on to that, I think with some women, like we'll say there's clothes, there's beauty products, and there's jewellery. And I think nearly all women, like one of the three is their weakness.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Their thing. You get women who are not bothered by clothes, but they'll spend a fortune on face cream.
Yeah, and and vice versa. And I think if it is skincare, somebody said to me last night, I was at a Nooks event last night in Cork, and she said, "You only have one face," and that is probably been my motto. And I love my style and stuff like that, but my face would be my one for sure.
Looking after the face.
Yeah.
And of course, that is kind of what you're talking about today, because you're going to talk a little bit about beauty essentials for the holidays, and lots of people are lucky enough to be hopping on a plane, or maybe not necessarily a plane, but going away on holidays in the next few weeks.
And I suppose what a lot of people have been on, I suppose it's like people are going away for the couple of days who may not necessarily, or if you're heading off with Ryanair and you have to bring all your stuff on board, the amount of people, I actually don't know what actually happens to all this, but I'm sure it's just dumped, but the amount of people who lose their fragrance, their foundation, their fake tan, because they're the actual normal size, and you're not allowed, if they're liquid, you're not allowed to take them on board. If they're the full size, you actually have to have the smaller size. So just to be aware that if you are travelling and you have them, they'll just dump them. They'll just take them off you and dump them. So you need to get the travel sizes, the nice small little sizes of it, unless that you're checking in the luggage, and then you can take what you want.
You can take what
you want. So like nearly all the brands now do take the travel sizes, with you. And my one thing is that the amount of fragrance that I've seen wasted that they've just taken and dumped. But you can get the actual, like I know in CH they have these lovely little bottles that you can actually put your own fragrance in, and you're allowed to take those in a like once it's a clear bag, you're good to go with it then.
I've often wondered at airports when they confiscate stuff like that. Do the security staff get to bring all those perfumes and face creams home and keep them?
Moisturisers? And I never knew that mascara was known as a liquid. So,
really?
Yeah. So mascara can be confiscated as well. So again, like the travel sizes. So if you are getting, like your normal, say you're a Lancome or a Clarins lady, they all do have the little travel sizes of your mascara as well. So the only thing that you're kind of safe enough out with is your lipstick, but your fragrance, your mascara, your liquid foundation, all that has to be put into the small little bottles, and off you go. If you are taking everything on board with you.
So what essentials, Mary, would you definitely take? Let's say we'll start with saying you're going on a sun holiday.
Yeah, so if you're going on a sun holiday, right across the board, your SPF is like the most important thing you do. And sometimes your SPF, if you're really stuck, can go with your moisturiser, because an awful lot of them have hyaluronic in it now, and they're lovely for keeping the skin lovely and moist. So what you don't want to do is you don't want your skin to burn. And after I was on here the last day, the amount of people said I couldn't get over the amount of people that were burnt. I know we had a most amazing spell of, but there was a lot of people burnt, and even we have so much knowledge now. So the big key thing from like a safety point of view is do not get burnt. So always make sure you have your SPF with you. So I was at a Nooks last night, so I'm going to talk a little bit about their SPF.
A Nooks event.
A Nooks event, yeah. No, so all the big events happen in Dublin, and when they happen anywhere near Munster, I always go, because I think it's great that they actually acknowledge that there's people living.
There's life outside the pale.
So I had a really lovely event, and Nooks would always be known for their fragrances and their oils. And the CEO of the company is still alive and still working within the company. And in France, they're absolutely huge. They're a massive brand in France, but they're known in France for their SPF. So we would know them for a different thing. So all their SPFs are really good, and they come in all different sizes. And I suppose I feel it's a bit more French, because they're kind of acknowledge people want to be tanned, whereas we're kind of saying SPF 50 and that's it. Whereas they do all different ranges, and they do the oils, and they do the lovely hair oils, and but what they have done is they've really upped their game with their SPFs. And an awful lot of people hate that that white hue when you put on your SPF. They don't have that white hue in it, and they've only got 3 filters in all their SPFs, so they're easily tolerated for the skin. But they also have a component in it that'll help you if you do go and safely get a nice colour. They will enhance your tan for while you're away, and then you can come back and use their lovely oils as well. to enhance your tan. But one of, well, I suppose the big one for the last, and it's still quite warm. People are still saying my makeup is just melting off me, running off you.
Running down my face.
So if you are going on a sun holiday or you're going up for a lovely weekend in any place in Ireland and it is sunny, like you do need to have a few essentials with you to stop that from happening. So one of the things that I have come across that people have now switched over to, we've seemed to have changed our makeup over again. Skin Ingredients, which is a lovely Irish company, and they have brought out an SPF, and with it, I love this. It has your, it's all. You finish your full one and you have your refill to go with it. So it's very good for the environment. But what it is there's a lovely hue to it. And when you put it on, people are just using that as their foundation. So you have your SPF and a nice colour in one. But one of the ones that a newbie that's out that I absolutely adore is the Trilogy Instant Glow. So with this, I've been using this as a foundation. When I'm working, what I have in my hand for skin tightening, it's warm. The person lying down is warm. I'm warm. The room is warm. We're all warm. So the makeup just is like flies, like just drips down. So I have found a little solution I've been using the Trilogy. So I'll hand this over to you. So it has this lovely glow to it. It feels like an oily foundation, but it actually sets in lovely and it doesn't budge. So it has this lovely glow to the skin, and the same with the Skin Ingredients. So it's kind of to counteract your kind of maybe that very heavy foundation, but a matte foundation will work a little bit better. So if you're used to your creamy foundations and you like that lovely dewy look, now it's like a really hot day, that really won't cut it for you. You really need to kind of maybe change it up to a matte foundation, but doing certain things beforehand of having your put on your SPF, let it on, and the primers are the secret to keeping your makeup on in this weather.
So, and would you recommend a good primer?
Yeah, so one of the ones that I've always used is Urban Decay. And Urban Decay have an all-nighter, so it's supposed to make your makeup last 16 hours. So don't know why you want your makeup to last 16 hours, but they also have an eye primer. So I would say definitely invest in your actual face primer and the eye primer, because when you put on your eyeshadow and the eyeshadow, it just like disappears in the middle and the colour can just start running down. It is amazing for letting them stay on. Now my tip would be put on the primers a good kind of 5-10 minutes, especially if you're going to say like you have a lovely summer wedding now coming up and you want that makeup to stay. Put on that primer, let it stay on, but try to look at the makeup and maybe not go as heavy as you would have beforehand. Like things that like a very heavy makeup that starts melting doesn't look good on anybody. So keep it to a kind of a minimum, a more kind of a minimal look, and it'll actually last you longer if you don't have as many layers of it on.
Questions are flying in for Mary O'Donnell. We'll start with this one from a texter who wants to know, will you spell the name of the primer you mentioned?
Oh, Urban Decay, so it's URBANDECAY. I feel like
what's the spelling bee? That's a very maybe they meant something else, because I mean Urban Decay is very easy to spell. But did you mention something that has a kind of a complicated name? Was it Nux? No, the only primer you mentioned.
The only primer was Urban Decay. Maybe it's all nighter.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe that's what. Maybe I said it very quickly, which I tend to do.
No problem at all. Listener says, will you ask Mary where is the best place to have embroidery done? What is embroidery? I presume it's to do with brows.
It's brows, yeah. Oh my God, there's so many great places. I wonder where are the listeners from, because like in every town in Kerry there's somebody who does it and they do amazing jobs. People who do brows tend to be like nearly, I think, artists when it comes to shaping the brows. And every town in Kerry has somebody who's amazing at it. And they tend to be specific, that there's only one person who will actually spend all day doing these amazing brows.
Okay, so you can't think of anyone off the top of your head?
No, but they're all, like every town has somebody really, really good.
Okay. Listener, still on that area, a listener says, my daughter has a unibrow. She's starting school in September and I'm afraid she'll get smart comments or will be bullied about it. What should I do?
I would go and have some threading done. It's quite gentle. Well, it's any hair removal isn't pleasant, but it's quick, and it will lighten the area. So it's sort of like anything, like with waxing. waxing and threading, it will help to lighten the hair growth. So just a small little bit of threading would probably maybe have a patch test first, and it'll just be having just inside there taken away. It will be red for a little while afterwards, but a nice some kind of nice cooling like aloe vera or something, and afterwards and they'll do that in the clinic or salon wherever they have it done.
And maybe do it a week before she goes.
Oh yeah, have it done.
So
yeah,
she's not looking
absolutely
sore and
have
red.
the patch test done and just see how it is, and it'll be a little stingy for a few seconds, but then it's gone.
Texter wants to know, can you tell us about non-invasive treatment for hair loss in men? That's probably...
Oh, that probably is.
Ons,
that's probably the PRP. So the PRP is flying for both males and females. So what they actually do is they take your own blood, it's put into a special machine, and the good plasma is taken out, and it is injected into your hair follicles, and to stimulate the hair growth. An awful lot of females are having it done, but for males, it's absolutely amazing for people who don't want to go down the kind of like the full-on surgery. They try to have this done first, but amazing results with it.
Okay. Listener says, do tan drops have an expiration date? I have some, but I don't know how long they're there.
Tan they
drops.
do. If you look at the box at the bottom, there's a kind of a 12 months usually on most products. You'll see it it's absolutely in everything, and it's from the time that you actually open it. So if you haven't opened it, you're fine. But from the date you open it, then that's the time that it will go in. And actually, there's a fantastic new tan drops out from Tan Organics. So Tan Organics, some of you people would have known them from Dragon's Den, but they've brought out. They're great for doing their research as well. They've brought out tanning drops with hyaluronic in it. So if your old one is gone, try a new one. But this one is absolutely beautiful, and it goes on a lovely shade. You can add to it as I have another side one here, pestle and mortar. But the Tan Organics are new, and they were saying to me that CH from all the pharmacies all over Ireland, CH are one for always supporting for Irish brands.
Yes, that's so true, actually. Now, you've brought in some new products for us that are freshly launched on the market.
So you like the
yes, the two
we were talking about for...
I tried them on each hand. This is Skin Ingredients one, which is kind of a pinky colour, but goes on lovely and gives you a lovely glow. And I really love the Trilogy one. Yeah, and the Trilogy one, it's that bottle, if you just hold it up there to the camera, that bottle, it looks deceptive because it looks like
an oil or something.
But when I put it on, I squirted it onto my hand, and it's just a kind of dark in colour. And now I haven't tried it on my face, but I've tried it on my hand, and it gives a beautiful glow.
Yeah, I have used it, especially at work, I've used it on its own just to give a little bit of colour, and it's just stayed on, and you just look really healthy.
Like you've come back from a fortnight in the Canaries.
In a way. Some of the, I suppose, like trying to keep the makeup on and all the things that you need to do, like having the brows done. But teeth whitening this time of year is huge. But there's a new Irish company. Well, they're not new. They've been around for a little while. They're called LA Pacific. And they have a mouthwash, and everything in it is approved by dentists. But they have their toothpaste is amazing for bringing up the white, and so is their whitening. So like all that kind of area is huge at the moment. But I've been trialing the LA Pacific, and it is really, really good. These lovely little products, they have very cheeky names. It's from this work, so these are for all different body parts. So these would be lovely to take on holidays if you wanted to kind of target different areas in your body. So they have.
Dear God, I'm getting nervous now.
Right.
What's she going to come out with?
Right. So these are Perfect Legs body butter, right?
Perfect Legs body butter.
Butter, yeah. So it smells divine. I'll have to pass this over to you to have a little smell of it. They're so nice. Everything they do. So they have Perfect Legs Skin Miracle, and this was made for somebody who had a little scar in her legs. There is a slight colour in it, but great for covering. But all this works have kind of cheeky names. Sorry, no.
Okay.
And the one that I've been trialling them all. There is the Perfect Cleavage also. So you can target the legs and the cleavage, so any part of you that you can see. But their products are really good and lovely for taking away, because they smell really nice.
Whoa.
Yeah,
it smells like a spa.
It doesn't it? Yeah. So you can take those away with you, and your legs will be in great condition, and your cleavage will be as well. So that's
what more do you want?
What more do you want? You're sorted. We were talking about Irish brands, and Seabody are having an event in CH on the 1st of July. And what they're going to do is 1st of July, you book in store with Niamh, and then you can get all your information one-to-one with the experts of finding out what's going on with your skin, how to include actives in your skin, and it's there's a gift with purchase if you buy some products, and there's also it's anything that you get is redeemable on your €50 that you pay for your deposit is redeemable against your products. And Helena won a lovely award recently for a Lifetime Achievement Award, who is over the company in Seabody.
Listener says, Mary, I'm in my 70s, I've dry skin, but I find that if you moisturise first and then use a tinted moisturiser, it stays put. IT is a good one, and they have SPF.
They do,
yeah.
And the CC in the IT is amazing. That was one of on my list of things that really are good for lasting. And a little bit of loose powder over just this T-zone for holding it in place as well, if you have that kind of special occasion. But that IT is a fabulous.
IT cosmetics, yeah. Listener says, my 7.5-year-old daughter keeps asking, can I get her a face mask so we can have a pamper night together? What would be the best face mask for a child that age?
This will have two. We'll hit two people in the house. Patchology have brought out lovely face masks, and they're kind of they're really cooling on the skin, and they're very popular with younger and older. But one of the very warm evenings we had, I used it, and it was so cooling on the skin. So it's Patchology, and great for both ages, and a great price point as well. And then for moms who want to spend a little bit more, I have trial and tested I don't know how many masks, but one of the ones recently that I really liked was Image. Now it's a little bit dearer than the normal ones. It's around €9, but hugely hydrating for the skin. So for two sides if you're looking for face masks to do at home.
Image skincare.
Yeah, the most gorgeous sheet mask, full of hydrating properties. But the next day when I woke up, you could see nearly a shine on your forehead from how much more hydrated your skin was.
Now, there's a load of people asking about the Trilogy and the Nux, and I think one particular listener is getting confused and saying, is the Nux Trilogy in CH? But they're two different things, aren't they?
Yeah, they're both.
Nux is one. You better hold them up again, actually.
Okay, so we'll go with the Nux is in CH, and the Trilogy one is this guy.
Okay, the Trilogy is the glow for
your glow for your skin,
a little bit of foundation in it.
And the Skin Ingredients one is your SPF with a lovely colour in it as well.
Okay.
So they're all different brands, but they are actually on CH.
And what is the Trilogy product actually called? Somebody wants to know as well.
Right, is an Instant Glow.
Trilogy Instant Glow.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Any more new products?
Yeah, so we have another after Seabody, which is flying with an Irish brand. For your hair, one of the things we're actually obsessed with this month. We're definitely LA Pacific's hard to say that for whitening, but for hair care, Sean Taft brought out his own leave-in conditioners, and I'm using the number 1, which is kind of normal if you have kind of curly frizzy hair. I have been obsessed with this product.
Oh, so it works.
Oh my God! Another success story for a Kerry brand, available from inside from Sean Taft. They have 1 and 2s depending on your hair type. But I have taken up. Well, I did, and this is very fine weather. I have took up sea swimming. Became one of those women, and I found it was amazing for just spraying, going in and actually spraying it beforehand, coming out the condition of your hair. But I have been using it for the last 6 weeks, and I actually cannot live without this product.
Very right. Good. Okay, Mary. Well, I think. You want to mention
one more?
One more before we go.
Because so many people are always looking for a really good cleanser for their skin. Pestle and Mortar have brought a cleanser for dry skin, and it is absolutely beautiful. I've been using this one as well. So it's called Essentials Pestle and Mortar. Looking for a good cleanser for dry skin. It's amazing.
Pestle and Mortar. Okay, great stuff. Mary, we leave it there, but thank you so much for everything. Sorry, is that a perfume, by the way, before we go?
It is. I'll pass it over to you.
You'll have to pass me that one.
Right.
By the way, in case you're wondering why we're talking about the visuals of all this, there is, of course, going to be a video. We're filming all of this. Big hello to everybody.
Which I forget about.
I'm waving into the camera here. We will be videoing this, or we are videoing it, and it will be available on the Talk About and Radio Kerry Facebook pages probably sometime tonight. So this is the Nux Sun Delicious Fragrant water. So
Yes.
I'm not sure whether to drink it or spray it on myself.
It looks amazing. We both we had before, when we had done a lot of fragrances with Nux before. There was a lady that we both knew who you say that Nux just smelt of money. And actually, when I sprayed it before I came in, I went, she was right. It just smells of money.
Yeah, I wish it would turn into money. Right, Mary, we let you go. I'm going to steal a good dollop of perfume for myself in the break, and we will talk to Mary next month, and we'll be back to talk about gift vouchers. That's up next.